And thank you to everybody who watched so far and who liked and subscribed to the video. We definitely appreciate all the love and support.
In today's video, we'll be discussing the fertility treatments available to us, the one we will be using. We'll also talk about our fertility benefit insurance type of thing, which is with Progyny, and we'll also discuss the bills that we had to pay so far and how much everything has cost so far.
Like we said in the last video, the first step to our fertility journey was to activate our benefit. The name of our benefit is called Progyny. Progyny is a supplemental, like third-party insurance that goes along with your health insurance. I do have health insurance through my employer, and that is how you get the Progyny benefit. It's through your job. So I'm a registered nurse, and I work at a company called HCA. And based on your employer, that depends on like how much of the benefit that you get, right? So the way that Progyny works, in order to activate it, you have to, first call, give them all your information, and then they will, turn on the benefit for you, basically. They broke it down for us, and the way that it works, once it's turned on, it's broken up into something called smart cycles, right? So based on your employer, that depends on how many smart cycles that you get. So with my employer, we have a total of 2 smart cycles. And the way that the smart cycles are used, it varies depending on the type of fertility options that you use, right? So we have like several, different types of options like IUI, IVF, reciprocal IVF. And I think right now we should probably transition it into actually what those are. So because a lot of people have been asking us like, is Nisha going to carry my eggs, or am I going to carry, and kind of how we're going to go about the conception. So we're going to talk about the different options that we have, and then we'll talk about how the benefit covers that.
The different fertility treatments that we do have available to us would be IUI, which is intrauterine insemination. Then we have IVF, which is in vitro fertilization, and then we have the reciprocal IVF, which is basically the same thing, but you use your spouse's sperm or egg, which is the reciprocal IVF. We're gonna do IUI, and in an IUI, they would use the donated sperm, whether it comes from your spouse or from like a sperm bank, and they insert the sperm into your uterus to fertilize the egg on its own. IVF is when they would take your egg from out of your body. They would fertilize it in a lab, and then they'll re-implant the egg back into your uterus for it to grow. In reciprocal IVF, they would do the same thing as IVF, but they would use either your spouse's egg or your spouse's sperm to create the baby.
So the different fertility options, they take up a certain amount of the smart cycle, right? So with IUI, which is what we're doing, that will only take up a quarter of a smart cycle, right? So we can do IUI 4 times, and that will equal 1 full smart cycle. So being that my employer covers 2 smart cycles, we can do IUI implantation 8 times, and Progyny will cover that whole entire process. In addition to that, Progyny does cover a good percentage of like the diagnostic testing and the workup and a lot of the medicines that we have to get. Like even when we go to the doctor and stuff, we don't pay anything up front. They basically will bill us separately from the doctor after the bill goes to Progyny. Like they'll bill Progyny directly, and then Progyny will send us the remaining bill that we have to pay. We only pay about 25% of the total cost, so which is great. Like we ended up not paying anything up front. They sent us a bill after the fact, and they broke it down for us on how much they paid, and they did pay. It came out to about 75% of it. How much did we pay like in total?
All right, so I got my little paper because we're remembering all those numbers because I'm not doing that. So far, with all the bills from Progyny, they've been about a little over $2,500, close to close to $2,600. And out of pocket, we ended up paying about $965. That's including our psych eval, which was an extra $250 that Progyny does not cover. We also had to pay like one lab, which was a $15 lab that we paid. So overall, we've saved about $1,600 using Progyny, which will probably cover our cost of like maybe 1 or 2 vials of sperm. So it's a great thing to be getting into. Save a lot of money.
I mean, obviously, it's certain stuff that they don't cover. That's with any insurance, and the psych eval was one of them. They required us to do like a social worker / like psych eval, and they required us to, you know, obviously do all the blood work and stuff. So yeah, some stuff they don't cover. So we came out of pocket a little bit for something, but it really wasn't much. But it was really good that we had the benefit, because it took a lot of pressure off of, you know, having to worry about how we gonna pay for just the workup. Like, we haven't even gotten into buying sperm and, you know, talking about the whole process of doing the implantation yet. We actually meet with our fertility specialist this Friday to kind of do our final, you know, meeting about all the testing that we had done, and kind of get the results from that. And hopefully from here, you know, we start looking for the sperm.
We're gonna be making a baby soon, y'all.
Hey.
But we're gonna take y'all on our sperm search journey.
Yeah.
We're gonna vlog that. We're gonna record that also. So y'all will be there for that. Y'all see how that goes for us.
Sure. And you know, thank y'all for tuning in. If y'all have any questions at all, you know, comment, send us a message, let us know what you want to hear about, kind of what you want us to talk about. Like I said, you know, people have already been asking us questions about who's going to carry, you know, how are we picking sperm, where are we getting the sperm from, and just kind of about the whole process. So we definitely want y'all to tune in, and we want y'all to be invested. So whatever y'all want to hear, y'all let us know. And until next time,
Bye, y'all. What's up, y'all? We back with a follow-up for y'all. We had a follow-up appointment with our doctor on Friday for all the tests and everything that we did. We stated this, I believe, in the last video. But so we're gonna give y'all all the information he gave us and everything that we have as far as all of the test results and all the evaluations and everything that we had to do. So, and disclaimer, if I keep looking down, I'm looking at my phone to make sure we're giving y'all the right information, because it's a lot.
some big words.
It's a lot of stuff. Alright, so first things first is he did check my ovarian reserve, which is basically the amount of eggs you have left, and the like amount of good eggs you have left, because your ovarian reserve naturally decreases as you get older. That's just what happens. He said my ovarian reserve was exceptional, so that's good. Also, my prenatal panel came back normal, which is basically like the blood work that I had to do. And they normally test for like HIV, AIDS, like all type of STDs, your blood count, like blood cell count, your red blood cell count, your white blood cell count. They test your cholesterol levels, thyroid levels. It's a number of things they test for, and he said that also came back normal. So that was very good. Psych evaluation. Basically, we did a psych eval with someone on a phone Zoom thing that was for like an hour or so. She typed up a whole little like report, and she faxed it over to the doctor. He said that was normal. Basically, we're not crazy, and we are ready to start a family. So that was good. And during the cycle day 3 testing that we did, I believe it was, when they took the photos, there was like a couple of polyps on my uterus, which I do have to get removed before we proceed with our inseminations or anything.
Basically, they're gonna do something called a hysteroscopy. What that entails is they use a very small like camera, and they'll insert it into the uterus, basically to like, you know, remove any polyps or anything like that. Very non-invasive. You go home the same day, pretty much painless. It's kind of similar to like having a colonoscopy. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll use it to like diagnose different things. If they see you know, any polyps or anything like that, they can do a biopsy so they can test it to see if it's cancerous, or they'll just remove it altogether. Our doctor wasn't concerned that anything was cancerous or anything was harmful, but just to increase our chances of implantation and a successful insemination, we're going to remove the polyps first before we start with the insemination process. So in addition to that, the physician told us the results of our genetic carrier testing. That's pretty much just blood work, but within the blood work, they'll test you for 282 different genetic diseases to see if you're a carrier. So out of the 282 that Niche was tested for, she tested positive for 3 of them, right? So 2 of them have to deal with the eyes. So one is called enhanced S-cone syndrome, and the other one is achromatopsia. So both of them are very rare, but she is a carrier form. So when you see those type of diseases, you'll see like loss in vision, you'll see like involuntary eye movements, you'll see color blindness, night blindness, things like that. It really does affect like the retinas and the eyes and kind of how they develop. But again, they're very rare. She is a carrier for them, so what that means for us is like when we go to look for our sperm donor, obviously we would want to choose a donor that is not also a carrier for those diseases, because our chances of our child inheriting that disease will increase if both the parents are carriers for that. So in addition to those 2 genes, the doctor told us that Bay actually has this trait called HPP, hypophosphatasia. With that particular disease, that affects bone and tooth development. So you'll see like your child will fracture easily, like they break their bones easily. You'll also see like very short stature, like bold leg, knock knees, stuff like that. You'll also see like abnormal tooth development and different things like that. So I don't think you never had nothing like that.
No, I never broke a bone in my body, so I really don't know.
Yeah, so
how that affects
even
me.
though she has the trait, we're not really concerned about it at all. The other 2 things that we mentioned, she's just a carrier for them. So if we choose a sperm donor that is not a carrier, we should be fine. You don't have no eye problems either. Like she don't even wear glasses or nothing like that. So we don't really have any concerns with it. And out of the 282, she only tested for 3 of them. So we good with that for sure.
Yeah, and my doctor also wants to go ahead with the MRI that the nurse practitioner was talking about at the day 3 testing. Basically, he says it looks like I have a bicornuate uterus. I'll put a picture in later on to let y'all know what that looks like. But he also said that it shouldn't be a problem for conceiving or carrying, but he does still want to go ahead with the MRI just so he can get a better look at my uterus and be more sure on his diagnosis. So, sounds like everything is pretty much going well. So we have a couple more things we need to do now. Basically those 2 tests that we need to do, and then we'll inform y'all on how that goes sooner than later. Hopefully we get those done, because that's the only thing holding us back besides that and purchasing the sperm.
Yeah, so after we do the hysteroscopy, we get the polyps removed, and after we do the MRI, we good to go. We're gonna go ahead and start the process. The physician did ask us during the follow-up if we wanted to do like a type of medicine to help kind of what he said it was to like
so that I ovulate more than 1 egg, because normally when you ovulate, you only ovulate one egg at a time. So he wants to put me on, I think it's a 5-day pill you take for 5 days prior to the insemination to ovulate more than 1 egg. It also does pose a risk for multiple pregnancies, and I'm not really worried about that, but we want to try to get as good a chance as we could with what we do have. So I did go ahead and tell him that we wanted to take I'm not sure what the medication is. I will, when I remember or when I find out, I'll add it here somewhere at the bottom. But yeah, so we're gonna go along with that too. So we should be getting started maybe in the next couple months or so, just depending on how cycles go and everything. So
That's it.
that is all,
That's it.
y'all. Thank y'all. To get my water.
Damn, Michelle out here looking crazy. Why did we go out of town and still end up on a big night? If we were supposed to be doing something for other people, we just be there. Period.
That or you might, or you say you might, you're gonna say, I mean, the cheaper way.
What a record.
No, not even at all. Close my shit out. I know y'all waxing. A little baby shot. That's a half shot. I just covered nothing. I guess for garnish, but still.
How long you been where you're at now?
Yeah, strawberry would even been smart.
So yeah. I mean, if you're able to do it, the contractor tells you like he thinks you.
No, I'm talking about the people that type of this school.
I'm outside in an AMG, right outside, TT, two-turn baby girl, you know me. Still with the dolls that I grew beside. All the niggas round me, died and they died. Gotta watch the time, cause it's flying right by. I'm outside in an AMG, right outside, TT, two-turn baby girl, you know me. All the niggas round me, right at it die. Gotta watch the time, cause it's flying right by. I just caught a shorty off a Finsta. Just the one hoodie, it's a crenshaw. Way that I've been living unconventional. I'm just trying to make it to the end, you know. Certain things have started getting tense on. Think we need to have a sun adventure. I could be a man, but maybe down the road. Right now, I would rather see my heart turn to chrome. Rather see my heart turn crystal. I can't even find a mission. Right now, I'm just stuck inside a crib on my own. Soon as I free up, I'm about to pop up on your phone. Like I'm outside in an AMG, right outside, PT, two-turn.
It's this damn tan from last weekend. What the fuck? That's weird. It ain't weird, but it ain't go away. Yeah, so the food didn't look good over there. So now we're across the street at Flanagan's. If get some chicken wings because why not?
Big flanny.
And they play us because we pay like almost $50 for them 2 shots and that 1 drink. It's alright though. It's alright. We was at this fancy, one of these fancy plaza. I mean, but it was very cute over there. The aesthetics was good. It was giving, but it was giving vlog and leave or record and leave or take pictures and go. So now we're going to get some food for real.
Yes, sir.
And some real drinks because they try to. Oh, you got the umbrella this time.
I ain't fucking around.
For real, because I ain't trying to be walking in this. It's been raining all day. Look at this cloud. Look at this sky. Gross. Spitting in people's videos. Hold on. It's no fire out here, bro. If you know, then you know. If you don't, then you don't. That's just it. That's just it. Because there's like no sign, but y'all know. Y'all know what's up. So we ended our night at this spot that we used to go to all the time when we were dating. It's basically just a lake and they have like benches and stuff. So we hung out there for a little while. And then we stopped by the corner store to grab a couple of snacks before we headed home for the night.